Hi there, it's Rich with Baum Photography, Sacramento, California, interiors photographer and hopefully problem solver. Trying to enlighten people how to make their day easier while still aspiring to make better images. Okay, as you know, I don't I don't try to feature super high end listings. This is just a normal listing we might all have. Wood ceiling, which is nice that it's light wood. But the main thing in this tutorial I want to show is a large space and a hallway down here with a bathroom at the end, a middle room, a middle hallway, this wooden floor here. So we got a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff to light. So I'm going to show you how I did this. This is, I think, was the finished project or the finished photo, but I've got some issues here, little shadows from the ceiling lamps, the sconces, but we can take care of all that. Anyway, I'm going to show you how I did this. First, I'm going to start with the lit frame. And this is, let me make sure this is straight out of camera. Yes, straight out of camera. And I lit an end flash camera left to the top of this vaulted ceiling, which helped me with the power of the end flash. It's 680 watt seconds, so it's a lot of power, and it's really handy in a big room, but by no means do you need it. You could easily do this with speed lights and working with your shutter speed to adjust for the ambient light. Anyway, I've got this shot. It's got some issues, but it's straight out of camera. I'm cool with it. Mainly, I got the exposure for the window. I'm at 1/30th of a second, ISO 320. My Sony a6000 at f8 and a Samyang 12 millimeter lens, which works really well for this. Anyway, my main issue here is this hallway, which I chose not to light, and I'm just going to let ambient do its work. Then I go over here, and I'm using an ambient shot. Let me make sure this is straight out of camera. Yep, straight out of camera shot. I was mainly trying to go for an exposure for here. I can also add in a little bit of masking in of some things here to help with those those shadows. I can get the exposure here. I'll show you how I'm doing it. Anyway, first thing I want to do is go back to, and this is 0.8 of a second, 1/8 of a second. Same settings, obviously 320 ISO and f8. So that gives you an idea of the wide variance of an ambient shot. I'm not worried about any of this over here because I'm not using any of that. Okay, I'm just going to use little parts of sections that I think I will benefit from. So let's go back to our lit shot. I'm going to use my normal, it's called my special sauce or my real estate full bump preset I made. You can see it right here. You can copy this and use it, steal it, just enjoy it. So I've got a pretty good shot here. I'm just going to increase my exposure a little bit. And it's a little dark in here, and it's still dark in here, but I like this over here. The window's good, and the lights here are still good. We do have a little chromatic aberration there. The purple fringing, I think I would say, but I'm not going to worry about it in this tutorial. Anyway, okay, so I've got the lit shot, the flash frame as I like it. Now I'm going to go to the ambient shot. I'm going to bring the highlights down because I don't want those. It didn't do much, but helps a little bit. And I'm going to bring this down about 40%, 0.40%. To just get it a little darker, I'm going to use these shadows a little better, and I can also use this to mask in the whiteness. As you can see here, my ceiling's kind of dark. So I use the best of both, and together they really help you make it an overall shot. That's why we do composites. So anyway, I'm just doing 2 images, 2 frames. That's all you need. I'm going to right-click, edit in, layers in Photoshop. Open as layers in Photoshop. Okay, while this is opening, I'm just going to say that Lightroom just announced new updates, new new perspective correction, lens corrections, and they also have the lens preset for the Samyang lenses and Rokinon lenses. So they're really listening to us, and these are really good. But they got a whole new section on the vertical corrections, on the perspective corrections. Really exciting stuff for us real estate photographers. Okay, we're open now in Photoshop. I've got my ambient layer on top of my lit flash frame. And I'm going to go down here, as always I do, and I'm going to add a layer mask. I'm going to hold down Command on the Mac, Alt on the PC. I'm sorry, strike that. I'm going to hold down the Option key on the Mac, the Alt on a PC. How many times have I said that and I got it wrong? Okay, so now we have our flash frame on top, and basically I want to go here and make sure I'm on white for painting in, for masking in. And you can toggle between black and white by just clicking X. That's a tip I learned from one of my, not students, but one of my people that look at these videos. I'm always learning stuff. Okay, go to the brush tool. Okay, now make sure the brush tool is 0% hardness. That's what I like. Okay, and then we're going to go up to flow and make sure I'm going to go to 4% flow here. I don't need more. You can do anything you want, but I find when you're masking in nice, trying to get a nice even mask, it really helps to have 3 or 4%. Okay, so now I'm going to enlarge my brush size to about the width of this doorway right here. And I'm just going to go paint it in nice and easy. Again, it's at 4%, so it takes a few times going over it. But as you can see, we're bringing in the exposure. And honestly, I think it works for me. There we go. I'm going to fix it up here so I'm not worried about that hot spot. But just check it out. Okay? And again, this is in the way background. As I always say, if I put lights back there, I could get a crisper, better color. But it would take me to have either one light moving around for one pop here. Let me minimize this so you can see. One pop for this hallway, this room. One pop for this hallway in the middle. And one pop for the bathroom. So I've saved myself a lot of time by just masking in an ambient shot. Doesn't always work this well, but sometimes it does. Okay, now I'm going to mask in a little bit of the ceiling. There we go. And I'm going to make this about the side. Now you can select this ceiling and make sure your selection is, what you're fixing is perfect. But I'm just going to freehand it. I'm no worry here. I'm going to get rid of that light shadow right there. Okay. Bring a little more down in here. Okay. There we go. Now, I'm going to bring in a little bit of ambient in here. It's going to raise the exposure back in there. Kind of washing it out, but you know what? Again, it's in the background and I'm not worried about it. And there we're bringing a little bit of ambient there. And we've retained the window. And I could have gotten a much better window pull here, but I think it's fine for what I got. I was mainly interested here. And this is a little overexposed. I will agree. I could get a better exposure there, but I love the exposures of these lights. So I'm fine with the compromise, let's call it. Okay, next what I want to do is add in a little bit of shadows here. A little bit of ambient right in there. Okay, that's nice. I'm liking it, Now let me zoom out a little bit. Let's get the ceiling under control. Right there. There we go. A little natural shadow up there in the pinnacle, in the top. Okay, let's go right here. I'm going to make this the size of the wall. There we go. A bit of ambient in there. Now, I want to see what I can get for these chairs down here. There we go. Let's just put in a little bit of ambience here, bring them back to life, so it doesn't look like the shot was lit from camera. Just a little bit. A little bit on the carpet. Okay, and I think I'm done. Let's have a look. Okay, let me go down here, maybe a little more right here. Okay, I'm pretty happy. And you could go further and do as much or as little as you want. But I think this will help you get a little more life into your flashy shots like me and make your life a little quicker and a little easier. So here it is before we brought in the ambient light. And I mean, if I didn't have this area here, I could actually use this shot. It's not the worst, but it's not where I want to be. So let's go and show it again. One more. Look down here in these chairs. I really like the difference there. And the carpet looks better. The hallway looks better. The kitchen ceiling looks better. And up here, look at up here. This is really looking better. Okay. There you go. Now I'm going to bring it back into Lightroom. There are several other things I could have done. I could have better exposed the little light sconces up in there, but I'm fine with this. It looks really good and not worried about it. So here, I'm just going to do my contrast bump a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to bring down the exposure right to there. And there you have it. And you know, one other thing I'm going to do, my A6000 Sony tends to bleed a little blue. So I'm adding in just +4 with some warmth. And there you go. Let's see it in all its glory. And I will take this shot any day. And as always, Rich Baum saying thank you for watching the tutorials. I hope I'm helping you out a little bit and getting some tips. And I've had some great feedback. Keep that feedback going. Wish you all the best. And I'm out of here. Rich Baum Photography, Sacramento, California.